Good afternoon, class. Good afternoon, Mrs. Kui. Thank you. You can sit down. All right, in our previous lesson, we started looking at sets, and we looked at simplifying of sets or rewriting sets in a different form. Okay, we'll be looking at the exercise today that you were given for homework, and then we'll look at adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing of sets. Okay, we'll start at letter G. Okay, from the back, Siegfried, what's your answer for root 52? Pastor Mike. Killer Pastor Mike.
Two root 14.
2 root 14? Or is it 2 root 13? 2 root 13. Okay, before we go into the next one, letter D, which is root 24, I think we made a mistake yesterday. The answer is supposed to be 2 root 6 and not 4 root 6. Okay. Root 52 is 2 root 13. Megan, root 75?
5 root 3.
5 root 3 is correct. Letter I, root 72. Jake?
6 root 2.
6 root 2 is correct. Letter J, Natasha, root 27.
3 root 3.
3 root 3 is correct. Next, root 18. Gabriel, sorry, Danny.
4 root 5.
4 root 5. L, root 99. Daniel.
3 root 11.
3 root 11 is correct. M, root 150. Rita.
5 root 6.
5 root 6. Correct. N, 256, root 256.
16.
16 is correct. O, root 98. Tau.
7 root 2.
7 root 2. Okay, 98 is 49 times 2. Square root of 49 is 7 times the square root of 2. Andrew, square root of 108.
6 root 3.
6 root 3 is correct. Ponrelay, root 12.
2 root 3.
2 root 3 is correct. Gabriel, square root of 121.
11.
11. S, root 128. Agnes,
4 root 8.
4 root 8. Uh, 4 root 8 is not correct. It's okay, but it's not simplified enough. Raylene, what do you think?
8 root 2.
8 root 2 is correct. Okay, 200, the square root of 200.
5 root 8.
5 root 8. Okay, let me just go over the square root of 128 again and explain how you can simplify. Okay, the answer that Agnes gave was 4, was it 4 root 8? The first one was 4 root 8. Okay, the answer is not wrong, but it is not simplified. Because in this number 8, you can see that there is a factor of 8, which is a square. That factor is 4. So 4 times root 4 times root 8. We will get 4 times 2, sorry, that should be 2. 4 times 2, root 2, So the answer is 8 root 2. Otherwise, you get the factor of 128, which is a square. And it has to be the highest factor, which is a square. Like this 4 comes from 16. 16 times 8 is 128. But then 16 is not the highest factor of 128, which is a square. The factor of 128, which is a square, is 64. So it's better to say root 64 times root 2, which is 8 root 2. Okay, 200 is the same. The square root of 200, the answer that Garonamo gave is correct, but it is not simplified. The factor of 200, which is a square and it is the highest factor, is 100. So it's 100, the square root of 100 times the square root of 2, and it's 10 root 2. So if you find that you've got, let's say this, then see if you can simplify further. So the answer is simplified. Okay, any questions? Any of those you want me to do on the board? No? Okay, we'll go to today's lesson then, which is adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing surds. Okay, I'm going to give you quite a lot of work after today's lesson. Hopefully we'll complete some in class. Okay, when you add and subtract surds, you add and subtract only those with the same radicands. And I explained to you what radicands are. It's the same number inside the square root sign. So if you were going to add the square root of 3 plus the square root of 2, according to that rule, you cannot add the square root of 2 plus the square root of 3 because they are different. Okay, so you add and subtract only those with the same radicands. 5 root 2 plus 3 root 3 minus 1 root 2 minus 2 root 3. It's just like this. 5 root 2 means there are 5 root 2's. It's just like saying there are 5 pigs. Okay, so you can add only those with the same radicands. So this is what I've done. I've subtracted this root 2 from 5 root 2. So 1 root 2 from 5 root 2 we will be left with 4 root 2. Clear? And then 3 root 3, I take away 2 root 3's from 3 root 3, and I have 1 root 3 left. Clear? So it's just like saying, if this is 5 pigs, 3 dogs, 1 pig, 2 dogs, I can only take away the pigs from the pigs and the dogs from the dogs. So if I say 5 pigs, take away 1 pig, that's 4 pigs left. And 3 dogs, take away 2 dogs, will give me 1 dog left. So it's 4 root 2 plus root 3. You cannot do anything more because root 2 and root 3 are different radicands. They are not the same. Okay, what if you are told to add 3 root 50 plus 6 root 18? Root 50 and root 18 are different. They are not the same radicand. So we do what we did in the previous lesson. You have to simplify. So 3 times, I've written root 50. This is actually multiplication. I've written root 50 as root 25 times 2. Are you following? Plus 6 times, I've written root 18 as root 9 times root 2. And then root 5 is 5, root 9 is 3. So 3 times 5 is 15 root 2, and then 6 times 3 is 18 root 2. Now they are same radicands. I can now add. So 15 plus 18 is 33 root 2. Clear? Okay, next one. Now you'll have to do this. Square root of 128 plus 4 root 75 minus 162. Do it quickly on a rough piece of paper. And then we'll see if you can get the answer. Siegfried, you're not supposed to write on that table. And this is the last time I want to see you sitting at this desk. Everybody's supposed to sit in front. You're going to have a hard time with me if you keep disobeying. Don't write on that table. I don't care. Write in your book. Okay. Square root of 128. Miriam, how can I simplify square root of 128?
Root 64 times root 2.
Root 75?
Root 4 times root 25 times 3. Root 3.
162?
Minus root 81 times root 2.
Okay. Good. Okay, so square root of 64 is 8. 8 root 2 plus 4 times 5 root 3 minus 9 root 2. Okay, so we have 8 root 2 minus 9 root 2 will give us negative 1 root 2. Okay, this 4 times 5 is 20. I cannot add because this is root 3. So 20 root 3 minus 1 root 2. Clear? Okay, see if you can do number 4 quick. You got 2 minutes. minus root b. Okay, then, what's the square root of, sorry, what is a factor of a squared b, which is a square?
A root B.
Okay, answer my question. My question is, this is a squared b. Give me a factor of a squared b, which is a square. Say, for instance, if we are talking about the number 50, a factor of 50, which is a square, is 25. Okay, my question is, you give me a factor of this, which is a square.
A.
A squared. A is not a square. A squared is a square. So, the square root of a squared multiplied by the square root of b. Just like here. Square root of 25 times the square root of 2. Plus a root b, because b is just a b, it's not a square. And then a factor of b cubed, which is a square. Chutaili?
B.
Are you sure? Is b a square? No. B squared. B cubed is b squared times b. So, the square root of b squared times the square root of b. Now, the square root of a squared is a. So, a root b plus another a root b minus b root b. Okay, I want the answer to that. A root b plus a root b minus b root b. Anyone? Relay.
2a root b minus b root b.
2a root b minus b root b. Is he correct? Hands up those people who agree with Relay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 only. That means there are people with different answers. Who has a different answer from what's on the board? All of you agree? Okay. This a root b plus a root b is 2a root b. Okay, for instance, if I added 2x plus 2x, okay, this is like saying 2x plus 2x. The answer is going to be 4x. Why would it be 4x squared? If I multiply here, it's going to be 4x squared. I'm adding, so it can't be 4x squared. 2x plus 2x is 4x. It's just the same as saying 2 times 2x. Clear? So a root b plus a root b is 2a root b. Just like if I said 2 times 2x, which gives me 4x. Okay, so this answer is correct. It's 2a root b minus b root b. But if you want to continue, you can write as, you can put 2b root b here and then say 2a minus 1. Sorry, b, not 1. Yeah, b. Okay, 2a minus b times root b. If you want to, you can say 2a minus b outside here on the left and then write root b. Is it clear? Yes. Okay. Now we go on to multiplying and dividing. I've got an example or based on dividing. Root 32 divided by root 8. I explained to you the previous lesson the rules. There are 3 of them that I gave, and I hope you remember. And one of them, if you're dividing 2 different numbers, you can divide the radicands and get the answer. So that's what I've done. 32 divided by 8 is 4, but make sure you include the square root sign. So it's root 4, and root 4 is 2. If you want to, you can simplify root 32, which is 16 times 2, which is 4 root 2. I'm just going to do this quickly because I have a small space. And then you divide it by, this one is root 4 times root 2, which is 2 root 2. And then if you can, and then you can cancel. Okay, 4 root 2 over 2 root 2. This and this will cancel out. And then you get 4 divided by 2, which is 2. So whichever way you prefer, but it's better to get to the answer the quickest way. Okay, example 2 is based on multiplication. If I multiply root 3 by root 12, I can multiply the radicands. 3 times 12 is 36, so the square root of 36 is 6. Or if you want to do the question the longer way, you rewrite root 12 as root 4 times root 3. And that is, now root 3 times root 3 is root 9 here. And root 9 is 3 times the same root 4. Root 4 is 2. 3 times 2 is 6. Okay. In this case, it's probably better to just say 3 times 12 is 36. But in some cases, you won't be able to get a square inside. So sometimes it's better to simplify and deal with small numbers. Okay, number 3 here. 2 root 3 times 5 root 6. I multiply the numbers. 2 times 5 is 10. And then I multiply the radicands. Root 3 times root 6 is root 18. Then I simplify root 18 as root 9 times root 2. And root 9 is 3. 10 times 3 is 30. Root 2. Okay, I want you to do example 4 and example 5 before I give you the exercise. Okay, example number 4. Two times 3 is 6. Root A, okay, this root A here, and then root AB, I can write it as root A times root B, following the rule that we looked at. Now I've got 6 multiplied by the square root of A squared multiplied by the square root of B. The square root of A squared is A, so 6A root B. Okay, that's the answer for example number 4. Hey Koi, you have to give me a factor of 60, which is a square. Is there, or does 60 have a factor which is a square? If yes, what? Velma, what about you? The square numbers are 1, 4, 9, 16, 25. Is one of them a factor of 60?
4.
4. Okay, 4 times what number will give me 60, Velma?
15.
15. So root 4 times root 15. Divided by 3 times, we should all remember 12 by now. 12 is root 4 times root 3. So it's going to be 15 times 2 multiplied by root 15 divided by 3 times 2 root 3. Okay, 15 times 2 is 30 root 15 over 6 root 3. Okay, put your hands up if you have the final answer, or give me the final answer. Daniel. Pass the mic. 5 root 5 is correct. Very good. 30 divided by 6 is 5, and 15 divided by 3 is 5. So square root of 15 divided by the square root of 3 is square root of 5. Following the rule. If not, you can write root 15 as root 5 times root 3, and then that root 3 will cancel with this root 3, and you'll be left with root 5. Otherwise, just divide 15 by 3 and you get 5. Okay. I'm going to give you 10 minutes to do the exercise. A, B, C, and D first. On adding and subtracting. Those should be very easy for you to do. I started the stopwatch late. So how many minutes? 8 more. this one. Six plus 5 minus 5 root 6. 7 plus 3 root 10 plus 5 root 7 minus 5 root 10. Okay. Okay, do the one on the board, on the monitor. Okay, for letter A, you should have 7 root 3. Letter A, 7 root 3. Letter B, 4 root 5. Letter C, 4 root 2 minus 3 root 3. What about D? Kyle? You answer for D.
2 and root 5 minus 8 and root 6.
12 root 5 minus 8 root 6. Letter E, has anyone completed letter E yet? Rita?
Negative 9 root 7 minus 2 root 10.
Okay, negative 9 root 7 minus 2 root 10. Okay, your homework. You are going to do the rest of the questions. Hopefully, they are the same as the ones on your worksheet. They should be. Just do the ones on your worksheet. We'll do any corrections later on. Okay, complete the exercise on adding and subtracting. You also have to do the exercise on multiplying and dividing. Okay, the keyword to the pilot teacher is simplify. I have to let you go. Stand up. Good afternoon, class. Thank you.